What is your full name?
My full name is Diane Trela, but because of my confirmation, I added my middle name is Carol because I was not given that name at birth. My name was very short, Diane Trela. So as I got older, being that I didn't have a middle name, it bothered me. So when I got my confirmation, I added that name. It's not legal, but I do it. I use it.
Okay. What is your job?
My job is I am a teacher, and I take it seriously. So I am a teacher. I teach history. My major in school was history. My minor was secondary ed and sociology. And I stuck with teaching even though I had other ideas through the course of my college career. And I committed myself to this as I started teaching.
Do you feel like you make an impact on your students?
I would like to think so. I'm pretty humble about that. I'd like to think so. I put in a lot of time. I'd like to think my students see that I put in time. I put in a lot of time. And I just enjoy people. I enjoy stories, and that started at a young age. So my sequence of history and I would say my interest in history began when I was young.
Okay. What is your ethnic background / culture?
Okay, so I am of Polish descent, and so I'm American, but of Polish descent. And so my family, as far as I know, I mean, we've done some studies thinking about this over the course of time, because being that I may have said to you that I did not know 3 of my grandparents, so it was always an exploration of me to find out more of my background. So looking at photos and that became a real interest of mine when I was really young.
Has your culture influenced the way you chose to live your life?
Yeah, I've been told I work too hard, and I can tell you where I get that from. I'm Polish descent, and my parents were hardworking, and I always use that excuse. I'm Polish, I'm hardworking. That's where it comes from. You know, I know that, and I don't apologize for it. It's just who I am.
What was it like growing up, and like how has that influenced your life like now?
Growing up, let's see, I would say that I valued my parents' hard work. I certainly digested that when I was young, and my parents, I'm always marvel at my parents because my father was a sole wage earner. My mother was incredibly gifted in many ways in cooking and in business, finance, all that. And I would say that what they were able to do for us and my family, and I'm one of 3 children, is I marvel at it at times. I marvel at it because we're in a different time period, but what they sacrificed, that's what I always come to, is the sacrifices they made.
Did you always want to be a teacher?
I guess I did. I used to play school at home. I really liked school. And then as I went to school for it, and then now I would say as I began teaching, it's a mission. I would say it's not for everyone, but it became a mission for me. Certainly it's not, you don't do it for the money. It's just your love of the study, the love of the work, the love of the people. That's what it comes down to.
Is there any reason you chose to teach at a Catholic school?
I would say that being that I came from public school background, it was the camaraderie that I had here with my colleagues that was really the reason why I've stayed here. The good people I've met here, the people that I've worked with as my colleagues, and also my students. just great people. That's what really made me stay in teaching here. And I've had a long career in it, but it was really the dynamic of the people I've met, my students that I've met, and that's really the reason.
Have you ever felt a strong connection and really made an impact on one student that makes you feel like being a teacher is like worth it, other than, me?
Right. Well, as I said, I thank you, Nick. It's humbling when you said that to me, because I don't think about it. I do my job every day, and I did run into a former student a few years ago at UMass who was in teaching, and his nephew was here, and my professor said, it's gotta feel great that a former student goes into teaching. And I said, well, I just do my job. I'm hoping, people will think about, I say that there's plenty of opportunities in teaching, but I hope that encouraging you to, work hard, and fulfill what you want to do, and make a commitment to something to work on. And I mean, all the work you do, whether it be here, your past, it's going to help you out, in your future. And so, but I think as I said, I think I told you, is that when I've had a number of years ago, there's always challenging years, and it might be students are a challenge, and I say, well, I don't know, you wonder, I wonder, but I said, I stuck to it. My former student said to stick to it, because, and then I said to you that she went on to become a school psychologist. She has a PhD, and she kept on going. So I think that, I hope that, she's a good example of someone that kept on the commitment, so whatever you do, you make the commitment, go through with it. And so she was the one that said to me, I thought about, oh, maybe I should relocate, maybe I should do this and that. But she kind of encouraged me to stick with it. And hearing from former students that I've had in the past, more now, and the good thing about it is I don't see, as you guys get older, I see you as friends. You're not my students, I don't see that big divide. Yes, you are, but you're also adults, and I'd like to think that I treated you that way.
And finally, do you have any passions or side hobbies?
I have passions. I have sewing is a passion, gardening is a passion. I'm bad at some things I'd like to get better at, but I gotta make time, and I commit myself to work a lot, and that's been kind of like, I like to work. I think I said that, I just like to work. I keep busy. Work is life is work for me. I don't know, that's the way it is. I never think about anything different. It's like, okay, this is gonna be whatever. But I do have interests that I'd like to make more time for.
Do you have any closing thoughts or any additional information you feel is important that I didn't touch on?
I think that, as I said to you, is that find what you really enjoy. You find a lot about yourself as you begin to work. You're of a different time period than me, and I would say, how would I say to myself, I was a very shy kid growing up. It wasn't until I started working in a job in high school that I came out of myself, and I knew in college I had to take a speech, I had to do certain things. It's like I had to jump through hoops. How am I gonna get to do this job if I don't come out of myself? And I got better and better at that. I had to come out of myself because I was a very shy person, a very reserved person, and I had to come out of myself. And there are times when I am reserved, and I can see myself going back to that. It was just how I was raised. It was just the way I was raised. Not to be really outgoing, crazy, whatever. And so, but as I said, in a career field, in a job field, I went from, working in high school in a bakery. I then got a good job in college at a bank. and that just helped me in teaching, and all those experiences just build, so just think about that, is all of what you do builds to who you are, and you bring that to wherever, so that's a key point. Okay?
All right, thank you.
Okay, Nick, thank you. It's been an experience, I thank you for that.